Hey, welcome back. We're in part 2 of section 4.3 now. It's going to be all about this word perpendicular. So we're talking about perpendicular lines today, section 4.3. Make sure you stay tuned because there will be a few questions for you along the way. Hope you guys are having a good day today.
All right, let's take a look at our definition for the word perpendicular now. Two lines are perpendicular if they, one, intersect at a right angle, and that means a 90-degree angle. So two lines are at a 90-degree angle if there's that perfect right angle there where it's exactly 90 degrees at the intersection point. And two, if they have opposite reciprocal slopes. An opposite reciprocal is kind of a big word here, but it means change the sign and flip the fraction. So a couple examples of an opposite reciprocal slope. If we had 2/3, the opposite reciprocal slope of that would be -3/2. And the reason why it'd be -3/2 is positive goes to negative and flip the fraction. So if you had like -2/7, the opposite reciprocal slope would be positive 7/2. Now it gets a little trickier if you don't have a fraction to begin with. So if we have something like 2, when we go about flipping that fraction, we kind of always have that invisible 1. So we'd flip it to a 1/2, and a positive would go to negative. So opposite reciprocal slope would be -1/2. And if we have something like 1/3, that would positive to negative, and then it'd flip to 3/1, or just 3 as the opposite reciprocal slope. So just to kind of check, we're going to find the opposite reciprocal slope of the fraction -2/5. So go ahead and find the opposite reciprocal slope of -2/5 and enter your answer when you're ready. So we're going to flip the fraction. So -2/5 becomes 5/2, and a negative turns to a positive there. So that's how we'd find the opposite reciprocal slope. On all the problems where we use equations, we're going to be looking for those opposite reciprocal slopes to tell if two lines are perpendicular. All right, let's take a look at our first example here to ask which lines are perpendicular. So again, we're going to say that this red line is line A. We're going to say that the green line is line B. And we're going to say the blue line is line C. So when asked the question which lines are perpendicular and looking at the graph, we're going to be looking for a right angle or a 90-degree angle, right? So if two lines intersect at a right angle or a 90-degree angle, they're going to be perpendicular. So which of these three lines, which pair of them would form perpendicular lines? Enter your answer when you're ready. All right, so it's going to be lines A and C on this one. The reason why is we can kind of see that the point where lines A and C intersect, you can put like a perfect square, a perfect 90-degree angle at that corner there. At B and C, that's not true, right? Like that's more than 90 degrees, and this is less than 90 degrees, right? So B and C don't intersect at a right angle. And same with A and C, right? B and C. So A and B. So A and B down here, that's less than 90 degrees, and that's more, right? So it would be this point right here that works, and that would be line C, the blue line, intersecting with line A, the red line. Let's take a look at our second example here. Which of these three lines would be perpendicular? Again, we kind of looked at the graph on example 1. On example 2, we're going to be looking at slopes. So again, whenever you have an equation y equals mx plus b, that number m is going to be your slope here. So for example, on our first line, 3 would be the slope. And we know that we want opposite reciprocal slopes. And that's going to mean that the two lines are perpendicular. All right, so which of these lines are perpendicular? Go ahead and enter your answer when you are ready. Taking a look at our slopes, I know that 3 and -1/3, those are going to be opposite reciprocal slopes, right? Because I flipped the fraction and changed the positive to a negative. And because of that, I'm going to know that lines A and B are perpendicular.
Let's take a look at our third example here. We're going to write the equation of a line through the point 2 comma 5 and parallel to the equation 1/2 x minus 7. So taking a look at this here, I want to write the equation of the line. That's my first instructions. So kind of the easiest form I have is not telling me a specific format. It's probably slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to kind of write that format down there. And it's going to be similar to our first day of section 4.3. I'm going to need an m and then an x and a y, and then I'm going to solve that out for b, and then I'll be able to write my equation y equals mx plus b. From my given information, I know that my x value is going to be 2, and my y value is going to be 5. And for my m, I'm given 1/2, and I want an opposite reciprocal slope. So if I'm given 1/2, the opposite reciprocal of 1/2 would be positive to a negative, and then 2 over 1, which is just 2, right? And so my opposite reciprocal slope, or m, would be -2. Now that I have those three values, I'm going to go ahead and plug them into my y equals mx plus b equation to solve for b. And so I'd have 5 equals -2 times 2 plus b. And that's just plugging in the values, right? Now working this out to solve for b, -2 times 2 makes -4, plus b equals 5. Go ahead and solve out that mini equation for b, 5 equals -4 plus b, and enter your answer when you're ready. So I got 9 by adding the 4 over, so my b value is 9. I know my m value is -2, so I can write my equation y equals -2x plus 9, because my b value is 9, and my m value is -2. So my equation of the line that goes through the point 2,5 and is parallel to the line y equals 1/2 x minus 7 would be y equals -2x plus 9. You're going to do something very similar to this on the next screen. You're going to be writing an equation. You're going to want to pull out the m, x, and y, plug in the values to find b, and then you're going to write your equation in y equals mx plus b form. All right, let's take a look at this last one, example 4. We're going to write the equation of the line through the point 1 comma 7 and perpendicular to y equals -1/3 x plus 11. Again, this should feel really similar to what we just did on the last screen. I know I'm going to want to write the equation of the line in y equals mx plus b form. Some kind of key values here. I have an x value of 1. I have a y value of 7. And then for my m, once I take the opposite reciprocal of -1/3 and turn that into a +3, I'm going to know that my m value is 3. So using those three values, go ahead and solve it for b, and then write the equation of the line in y equals mx plus b form. When you're ready, you can enter your answer. All right, so plugging in the values, I get 7 equals 3 times 1 plus b right there. 3 times 1 just makes 3 here. And then subtracting the 3 over, I find that b is 4. Once I know that b is 4, I can plug that into y equals mx plus b there. And then I know my m value from here is 3. So I'd have the equation y equals 3x plus 4. That brings us to the end of section 4.3. You are now ready to start the big ideas questions on section 4.3. Hopefully you guys are having a good day, and I'll talk to you again soon.